It does make me wonder. Mark, myself, Andrew, we have noticed our feet changing over this past year. Like the tendons are getting thicker. My feet have gotten wider. I put my feet into my Crocs that I have. And I was like, wow, my feet are now feeling the edge and the width of the Croc. My Croc is now not wide enough for my feet. But you've been doing this for almost over a decade.
Like about 13 years.
How have your feet changed? What did you notice?
Well, my feet have, I will say that the first 6 months was not, oh, sorry about that, guys.
You're good.
I'm a rookie here. So the first 6 months were, my calves especially were just like on fire. Like everything, I was tight and I was tense and I was on the verge probably of tearing a muscle, like every muscle in my leg. And I did this at 30 years old. It was just like, oh, this is something I got to do. And I just absolutely loved it. But my legs were just so tight and so tense because essentially my calves, you know, I had this new engagement of everything below the knees like I'd never had before. And I went from being a guy who was willing to, I'd run to chase a ball, or I ran a little bit when I was dating my wife because I wanted to be, you know, impress her and just hang out, whatever I could do to hang out.
I run all the time.
Yeah, I love this.
You got like shin splints. You're like totally dying.
We're married and I'm like, oh yeah, I just can't make the run today. It's summer camp. I have to, I got to wash my clothes. Darn it. So like that was why I would run. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, I want to run. And I feel like it's such a deep issue, this whole running thing. It's like, so, I mean, I'm kind of amazed at you, Mark. You're like power lifter. Now you're just like into running, and there's something like deep in us. It's the foundation of everything we do in terms of our athletics. It's always a part of us. So, you know, it's not surprising that we want to run, and, you know, we have this, this great ability to, but I was running way too much. I went from like 0 to 100, like real quick. If I had been older, I would have killed myself. And so I saw Chris McDougall. He's the author of Born to Run, and he did this this little talk at Google one day, and I watched it online, and he was saying it's not a panacea, this whole minimalist thing. You cannot just throw your Vibram 5 fingers. You can't just take your shoes off and like everything's gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
You know, like anything you do in life, you have to train for it. You have to like acclimate yourself. And so there are a lot of problems. And I think that's where most people have had problems going to minimalist footwear. They enjoy the first mile. I actually talked to this guy. He's a good athlete. And he was telling me that he's like, I tried the 5 fingers and, you know, I'd go on these 10-mile runs and then, you know, my feet were sore, or I was hurting myself or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I liked it at first, but then I didn't. Well, there's a reason he liked it at first, because he had enough strength and stamina in the muscles in his feet to run 2 miles.
Power Project family, how's it going? And listen up. We talk about meat and nutrition all the time on this podcast, from the carnivore diet, keto, low carb, IFYM. And the cool thing is that we've partnered with a great company, Piedmontese Beef. Yes, it's beef. And the great thing about Piedmontese Beef is this: no matter if you're someone who's dieting on low fats, high fats, carnivore, any diet, they have different types of cuts of steak that are going to fit your diet perfectly. From the flat iron that has, Andrew, what is the macros on that thing?
So that one has 46 grams of protein and only 4 grams of fat for the entire steak.
And if you want fattier cuts, they have ribeyes, center cuts. They have literally everything for no matter what diet you do. So you can't use the excuse of your diet and tell yourself that you can't eat red meat. So Andrew, how can they get Piedmontese beef?
Yes, man. So that's at Piedmontese.com. That's PIEDMONTESE.com. At checkout, enter promo code POWER for 25% off your entire order. And if your order is $150 or more, you get free 2-day shipping. Again, Piedmontese.com, promo code POWER. All links down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes.
Okay. But he didn't have enough to run 10 miles. That was going to take him training. It's that simple. And so all these things, like someone might, you guys know the weightlifting thing a lot better than I do, but maybe somebody jumps on and they can throw some big weight up like once or twice. But try it 3 and 4 times, and then you get the muscle fatigue. And now you really hurt yourself.
To add on to what you're saying right there, the amount of comments that I've seen, because we've been talking about this stuff for a while now. So there are a lot of people that have been going down this journey too, and they're having massive benefit. But you'll see comments every now and then, people like, man, I did the Vibrance for a few months and I got injured. Or, man, I did this Barefoot thing for a few months and my Achilles has been on fire. This is not okay. This is bad.
Yeah.
But it's because, again, the shit's gradual. There's you progress and then you regress a little bit. You got to calm down.
Yep.
And then you adapt, and then you progress a little bit more. It's a slow process with your body getting used to all this shit.
Yeah, exactly. I think like it's amazing what you can do, like training wise. I started doing more pull-ups in this last year, right? And it's like I was hurting my shoulder at first, but then I like gradually over 6 months, now I'm doing an extra 80 pull-ups a week, and
let's go.
And it's like my shoulder's not hurting.
Yeah.
Well, because I didn't do it all at once, right? You have to work into these things, and your foot is no different.
Yeah.
And then there's also issues that are confounding, like your technique. Technique's always huge, and so why do we think I've had my foot? This is
your technique might not matter as much when you put the shoes on. That's the selling point of the shoes. And that's why they get you.
It's also
it is helpful. Like if you put a shoe on, your run might feel better. And the ones they make now with the carbon foot plate and everything, it's like the super shoes. They feel amazing. They spring you along. They help cushion the blow. There's less pressure on the knees, less pressure on the calves. But if you return to other forms of shoes, other types of shoes, you'll notice you'll get. The way I look at it is like I don't view anything as necessarily being good or bad. I just view them as being different.
Yeah.
Like if I want a different training stimulus, I'll hop back into these shoes. If I want a little bit extra spring, I want to see if I can cut back my time. Maybe I will put. I have a pair of Nike Alpha Fly. My foot does not fit very well in it, so it's really rare for me to put it on at this point because I'm like, I don't want to take any steps backwards. I want full access to my feet because I think. One thing that some people are missing, like there's people listening to this show right now, or they may have already tuned out, and they're like, I don't have any problem with my feet.
Yeah.
But their knees hurt.
Yeah.
Their back hurts. Their hip hurts. And it's like, if you investigate the feet, you might find that you're going to notice some relief upstream.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people aren't maybe paying attention to some of that. And when we had Anya on the show, she was mentioning that her beginning stages was to just simply, I think, not wear shoes inside the house.
Yeah.
That was her first step because she was in so much pain. And I know there's people listening that are probably in similar pain. They got to put on sandals or slippers or something like that just to walk in their own kitchen. And that's when you know that there's a problem, and it doesn't take hokas, and you don't just keep stacking up a bunch of foam underneath your foot, which is a logical thing to think about.
Yeah.
It does make sense. And I know that some people do get relief from that, and that's great. But again, if you investigate the feet, if you can help strengthen them, and what I like about your product, the Shamma Sandals, is that it's a way to like train your foot.
Yeah.
Just while you're on a walk.
Yeah.
Power Bite family, we appreciate you checking out this clip. Check out another one. Just go check out another one. Or comment down below and let us know what you liked about this one. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing you the heat. So comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, okay? Peace.